Welcome to the Chamber's Candidate Interview Series. I'm Christy Moore, and I serve as the President of the Dawson County Chamber of Commerce. On June 9th, the primary election will be held in Georgia, and early voting begins May 18th. In Dawson County, there are many local elections on the ballot. You may always view your sample ballot and polling location by visiting mvp.sos.ga.gov. One of the main areas of focus of our Chamber's strategic plan is advocacy. While we would typically host a forum for all candidates, due to the current pandemic and out of an abundance of caution that prioritizes the health and safety of the candidates and our staff, we are hosting in-depth candidate interviews instead. All candidates who are running for an office for which more than one candidate is running were invited to be interviewed. As a nonpartisan organization, we take seriously our role to promote issues of benefit to our businesses and community, as well as support the promotion of information about upcoming elections. The Chamber does not endorse a particular party nor particular candidates. We work diligently to ensure that these candidate interviews are fair to the participants and informative to our members and audience. Candidates were not given the questions prior to being interviewed. Questions were submitted by Chamber members and were predetermined by the Chamber's Advocacy Committee. Similar to a forum, each candidate will be given 3 minutes to give an opening statement, and we'll have 2 minutes to answer each question. Today, I'm joined by David Pressley, who is running to be the next Dawson County District 4 Commissioner. David, would you like to kick us off with your opening statement?
Well, thank you for having me. I'm running for Dawson County Commissioner, District 4, primarily because I want to help ensure that we continue to do good for budgeting and help manage the growth so it's in a sustainable format.
Absolutely. Well, tell us why you want to be a commissioner for District 4.
I think I can do a really good job doing making sure we stick to our budget, making sure we eliminate fraud, waste, and abuse, and make sure we don't grow the county faster than what the infrastructure can handle.
Thank you. Well, what would you say your overall vision for Dawson County is?
I like the way Dawson County is right now. And for the by and large, I would like to see it maintained that way. The biggest thing that I could see Dawson County needing to grow is the internet capabilities. That seems to be a very hot topic, but we don't really seem to need a whole lot of businesses out here that are coming from outside the county. If somebody in the Dawson County wants to start a business, I'm all for that, and I think that's a great idea. But I don't want to, you can't ever predict the economy. You can't, especially with what's going on right now, and you can't assume that things will always continue to grow, because if we do all this growth and we don't have, it's not sustainable, we could wind up finding ourselves with a bunch of empty plazas instead of forest land, and I don't really care to see that.
Definitely understand that. Well, one of the attributes that makes Dawson County competitive in attracting both businesses and residents is our low millage rate. How do you intend to provide enhanced services to a growing population while maintaining our competitive advantage?
Big thing for me is I'd like to keep the millage rate low. I have seen a few tax increases, even if the millage rate didn't increase when they did the reassessment of the home values. That still caused more people to have to pay more in property taxes. I don't think that the growth burden should be placed onto the families of Dawson County. That growth should be placed, at least in part, on the people who are coming from outside the county to shop. So I would be more in favor of, if we're going to grow, then we should have those people from outside the county contributing a larger portion of that income. And that way, if that income is not there, we can simply say no to the growth, because we can react instead of trying to guess whether or not we're going to grow or not.
Definitely. Well, kind of following up on that, retail currently makes up the largest sector of the Dawson County economy. What role do you believe Dawson County government should play in supporting the diversification of our local economy?
By and large, I think the best thing that we could do is just encourage Dawson County residents themselves to start businesses. So if anything that would encourage homegrown business type thing, I'm all for it. If it's outside, I'm not opposed to it directly, but it needs to be a good deal for the county in general.
Absolutely. Well, given the fact that the majority of business and industry is physically located within the boundaries of District 4, how do you plan to ensure the needs of current businesses are heard and met? And how would you make it, if you would, make it easier to build or honestly expand business that are already here in Dawson County?
I think that whether or not a business grows or not should be organic. It should be up to the business. It should not be up to the government to determine whether or not we should encourage these businesses to come or we should discourage these businesses from coming. Um, that being said, I think that a good thing that we should try to do is increase the level of communication between the citizens, the businesses, and the county government. Um, I'd like to see more online participation for people who are working 9-to-5 jobs in Alpharetta or in Atlanta, and they can't make it to the meetings by 4 or 6 or 8 p.m. So having it on an off day, maybe on a weekend, or maybe having it online so everybody can have a way of knowing what's going on with the county government with their commissioners, I think is a good thing, and that's what I would like to see happen.
Absolutely. Well, based on the state of Georgia's 2018 numbers, the state's always a few years behind, for every $1 that our chamber expended for tourism marketing and support, Dawson County government received $4 in local tax revenues, and $138 was invested in our local economy. If elected, are you committed to continuing to dedicate 6% of the hotel motel tax to tourism marketing as it is dedicated currently? And do you have other ideas for supporting local tourism?
I don't intend to change that whatsoever as is. If some new information comes out, I'm open to changing at that time. But right now, I'm inclined to leave things as they are in general. The businesses that are here, I don't think that they should leave. The businesses that want to come here, we should take a look at the businesses that want to come here. And if that includes the hotel industry, then I'm willing to take a look at that. A skeptical look, but a look. But that's my position on that.
Okay. Well, we know that at any given time, a community is doing one of two things. It's either growing, it can be all types of growth, slow or fast, or shrinking, and again, it could be slow or fast. With the expectation of growth in Dawson County currently, how do you plan to balance the desire of our community to maintain a high quality of life with the ideal and often legal requirement of prioritizing property rights?
That ultimately comes down to, well, in my opinion, I think the best thing that you can do with that is reduce property taxes. That's probably the biggest thing. The people in Dawson County, they have the schools, they have the fire department, the sheriff's department, all that stuff, and the community wants these things. So of course these things are going to have to be paid for, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to spend money on every community project that comes across our table. And we should really take a critical look at exactly what we're paying. Maybe we do need this project, but maybe we should look at who's providing it or how much, what we're getting in exchange for the deal, making sure we're getting the best deal possible.
Absolutely. Well, as a follow-up to that question, how will you deal with zonings that are the result of decisions of past commissions?
I am inclined to take the position that we should stick to the growth plan. We have a growth plan, and if we need to deviate from the growth plan, then we should consult the planning commission for that and make decisions as a that encompasses the future growth as well, not just making ad hoc decisions.
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned a little bit about this earlier, but are you in support of T-Splost, which is the new 1-cent tax that is on the ballot this June to support transportation? If not, how do you propose to obtain funding for the necessary road improvements needed in the county?
I used to be opposed to it. I'm neutral now. I don't support it or oppose it at this time because I haven't got enough information to decide whether or not I agree with all the spending that we're trying to do on the transportation. I know it's needed. And I know if we don't address it, it's only going to get worse. So in that aspect, I'm neutral. But overall, I would always take a critical eye at looking at if we're going to increase taxes, sales taxes, property taxes, any kind of taxes. How is that going to affect the county? what are we getting in exchange, and are we taking too much or too little?
Sure thing. Well, advocates of consolidated government purport the efficiency of a combined government. Would you favor the consolidation of our city and county governments? Why or why not?
I am in support of having the smallest entity manage itself. So if the city of Dawson County wants to manage themselves, I think that they should have that opportunity and that right. If the city of Dawsonville wants to merge their city government with the county, I think they should also have that right. It should be up to the people who's most affected by a decision to have the highest weight on that decision.
Mhm. How do you propose to increase communication and transparency between the Board of Commissioners and citizens? I know you mentioned this a little bit earlier, but please particularly address how you would improve engagement with the 50 and younger crowd who is often too busy working and raising families to attend meetings.
Like I said earlier, I was thinking along the lines of making Dawson County more online. So more streaming opportunities maybe, or reaching out through social media via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, those kind of things, where we can host large forums and get direct feedback almost immediately as if we were meeting in person. I think the more people that have a say in government, the better chance that government has of succeeding.
Absolutely. Well, as we come to a close, please share with us if there's anything you're passionate about that we didn't ask about as you share your closing statement.
Um, the biggest thing for me that I'm passionate about is making sure that we keep taxes low. That's one of my biggest priorities. My second one is the growth. I like to see Dawson County the way it is. I like it being forest land. I like seeing Amalcololo Falls, as beautiful it is. I have lovely trees right outside my front window. I don't want to see them replaced with plazas. So that's what I'm passionate about. I live here. This is where my family has been here roughly 200 years, give or take. And this is basically what I call home. So I don't want to see it change. I want to see it stay the way it is. I'm happy to see it better, but I like it the way it is.
Absolutely. Well, if anyone would like to learn more about you or your campaign, where can they reach you or learn more about you?
Sure. The easiest way to get a hold of me is through Facebook. You can do a Facebook search for David Pressley, and you should see me pop right up. Or you can send me an email at davidofdawson@yahoo.com. You can reach me there. Those are the two best ways to get a hold of me if you have questions.
Perfect. Well, we really appreciate you spending this time with us today.
Thank you for having me.